Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev Part 3 may no longer happen this year, and now the IBF is giving Dmitry Bivol an ultimatum to either make up his mind and face their mandatory fighter or be stripped of his title. World Boxing News is now reporting that the third and final fight between Beterbiev and Bivol may not even take place later this year as initially planned and may possibly be pushed for an early 2026 date. Now, we're not entirely sure what's going on, but this isn't final yet. However, this news is also being backed up by boxing journalist Dan Rafael, who has a very solid track record regarding leak reports. So with that being said, the IBF is now giving Dmitry Bivol an ultimatum to either make up his mind or be stripped of another belt. Now, the IBF laid the following options for Bivol. Either Bivol commits to a specific date and actually fights Beterbiev this year, or face their mandatory challenger Michael Leifert, who has been patiently waiting for his title shot for quite some time now. If Bivol fails to make a decision really soon, then the IBF, just like the WBC, will strip Dmitry Bivol off their title. Given the circumstances, however, Dmitry Bivol's camp isn't really worried and said that they're optimistic that the IBF will allow Bivol to keep his title, especially considering that Bivol versus Beterbiev is a much bigger fight than their mandatory fighter. Now, this ultimatum by the IBF was laid out last July 2nd. And we're not entirely sure when's the exact deadline. But according to Bivol's manager, they're actively making sure to finalize a specific date against Artur Beterbiev, although whether it'll be this year or next year remains to be uncertain. Now, with a possible 2026 date, again, it's not clear as to why all of a sudden the final chapter between Beterbiev and Bivol is now facing the possibility of a 1-year delay. The thing is, if this fight gets pushed to 2026, then we're looking at a 41-year-old Artur Beterbiev, who despite not having a lot of mileage doesn't change the fact that he's getting older. This on top of the fact that if Beterbiev versus Bivol wasn't even gonna happen, then we could have had Bivol versus Benavides. I mean, wasn't the whole reason why Benavides got kicked out of the group chat was because of Bivol saying that he'll fight Beterbiev next? But now that this may no longer be the case, then we just lost the possibility of seeing a Bivol versus Benavides fight. Because as of right now, Benavides is already scheduled to fight Anthony Yarde this coming November. So yeah, he's booked already. Anyway, what are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please don't forget to click that like and subscribe button for more quick talks.